And here is Ken Block. Start of stage 5. They are in 3rd place overall.
And Ken, in his first ever X Games, he is one of the founders of DC Shoes. So Ken, switching positions. Normally a guy who's pushing his athletes. Look at this, pushing the limits of that Subaru, drifting it beautifully around that corner.
Yeah, running down the long straightaways. Ken looks particularly good.
Goes down 10. Mile, right 3 minus over crash, and turn.
And you can see a virtual yard sale there. Ken throwing some parts off the Subaru that he doesn't need. He's a big surprise to many people here today.
And there's the gold number 7 of Colin McRae. Bit of a surprise in that he's 2nd.
But no surprise that he and Nicky are in the mix here today. You can see him pushing through this tough left turn.
And jump, maybe.
And McRae lays down a 6:42 on stage 5, besting Block by 7 seconds.
Ken, at this point, how are you feeling about your chances here at X and maybe a gold medal?
Well, that'd be nice, but, you know, I'm just trying to stay ahead of the guys behind me, and maybe if something happens to one of these guys ahead of me, I'll move up. But, man, Travis is on fire today, so I have to give it up to him. He's really driving good.
1, go. Right 3. Right
And the
3
focus is
minus,
certainly
into
on
left 3.
Travis.
Into right 3 plus short over crest. Left 2 minus over dip.
And you can see there working to the outside of that corner, catching a little bit, but look, tracking it looks a little faster, a little smoother than Colin in that section there, that left turn. Maybe attacking just a little bit more.
Into jump over finish.
And Travis finishes stage 5 a half a second faster than Colin.
Oh, that was a jumpy one there. Well done. We got to get out and check tires.
And take a look at the standings now. That stage went to Travis. 5 are now complete.
We're here at the beginning of stage 6. Now, the next 2 stages are pretty much flat, and that translates to speed. Now, it's a good thing for a lot of the drivers because they can open their car up and get the maximum horsepower. But that can also be a bad thing because at the speeds these guys are running, there's definitely a lot of danger.
Family team, Richard now on the course. Start of a flat, fast stage 6. You can really open it up here.
Left 3 plus, back surface.
Natalie co-driving for brother Patrick, and they sit in 6th place coming into the stage. They've had nothing but problems, and they really need to be on their game. And looks like possibly a left front tire going down.
50?
Yeah, and they recognize it. So they're in trouble again.
We need a new tire.
Yep.
Frustration continues, and here Tanner Faust trying to make up time. Remember, he had a tire change on course earlier in one of the stages.
So to be racing here with Colin McRae is really just an absolute honor. Rally racing is one of those sports where when you watch it, you can really experience what the driver's going through. And as soon as I saw Colin McRae driving for the first time, I was hooked. You get this connection to what's happening in the car, and they're doing such radical things and so fast over, blind corners that I was absolutely hooked. It's ridiculous how much your feet move around on these stages, especially with these tight corners. It's a constant movement because when you upshift, you use the clutch. When you downshift, you don't. So your foot's over on the brake. And so the feet are moving around constantly, and to try to think about where the feet should go is ridiculous because there really is no time.
Well, Colin McRae has been picking up time and wins another stage, making up 6 seconds overall. And these stages are similar now.
Talk about going into stage 7. What do you think you can do here?
Yeah, we'll keep the pressure on and try and see if we can pull a bit more time on the next one, because then we go back into twisty stuff.
Mickey Grist, Colin's co-driver, bet me. He goes, hey, bet you can't beat us on this stage. I don't do well not accepting bets.
Well, Grist is a smart man. Travis Pastrana has no rev limiter, no restrictor plate. He knows only one speed, and that is wide open. Off course, big air. He is pushing the limits, maybe because Grist has sucked him into a challenge.
And Travis knows he may have been too aggressive. Here is McRae. He is blindingly fast.
He is definitely, and this is the stage. He knows he made time up on the identical stage here. He is pushing the limits. He wants to move into the lead of this rally.
We got test
lost everything out there.
Driving a little off course during that section. Problems for Travis.
We were off the road more than we were on it.
In the meantime, Colin McRae is just nailing it. He has been incredibly fast and very smooth. He's figured this course out and made up nearly 6 seconds and takes the overall lead. A three-way battle for third place now.
I had just lost the lead on the last race, but we were lucky the whole way. I mean, we could have flipped 5 times, and off the road, you never know what you're going to hit, so that was dumb.
Well, for the first time in this rally car race, Colin McRae has taken over the lead from Travis Pastrana right now, going into the final stage, only a half of a second ahead. What are you expecting here?
Going to be tough. A lot of really nasty jumps and bumps and really rocky as well. So, you know, it's certainly not over until we get to the end of this one.
Stage 8, the twisty, turny, dangerous power line road, the longest stage in Hungry Valley.
Ken Block to take off, currently sitting in third place, but Lachlan O'Sullivan not far behind.
Caution, left 5 miles over 2 bumps. Opposite tight at 3 meters.
They're getting some air and parts going everywhere on the block car.
A virtual yard sale.
180 finish. Right 4 plus into stall.
And a hard push on the final turn.
354, 10 seconds fast.
A solid time for Block, but Lachlan O'Sullivan taking course now, maxing out his credit cards just to get here. A local boy, though, knows this area, grew up driving here with his father, so local knowledge will help as he presses to try to get on the medal podium, looking for the bronze at the very least.
And they finished, despite a few parts, but a finish nonetheless. Here is Colin McRae, and he has to drive with everything that he knows, all of his capabilities, because Travis is breathing down his neck.
And going into this special, remember there will be asphalt. Colin has more of an advantage there. You see Colin working into that last corner, pushing just a bit, but holding it together.
Travis Pastrana on the ridge line now. He has to shoot for the time just set by Colin McRae, an 11:17.4.
And we know Travis has the aggression. We've seen that he has the skill, but we have seen him throw cars away. He is prone to crashing just a bit, but that is the way he lives his life, on the ragged edge.
He looks really focused there. He's not really charging at it. He's just driving it carefully.
I agree, and smooth into this last corner. They end the day dead even on the last stage. Less than a second separate them as they go into the special at the Home Depot Center.
Very rare for 2 people at the top of their sport to go through that much competition and to basically finish dead even. I mean, with all the variables and all the corners and all the possibilities out there, it's incredible.
Colin McRae, Travis Pastrana, a half of a second divides you guys. How in the world is it this close, Trav?
I don't know. This is pretty much what I dreamed of last night. I mean, this is awesome to be even, racing with this guy next to me. And I know he's not used to the stage notes and whatever, but I'll take it where I can get it.
Colin, welcome to Rally in America.
It's been a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I knew Travis was going to be quick there because he's been fast on the twisty stuff all day, so I just kept it clean and pushed as hard as I could, and it's unbelievable to come out on the same 10th of a second.
With a double back last night, Travis defined himself as a legend. Now he'll challenge one. And the rally cars have now arrived at the Home Depot Center for the final super special stage. Competition is already underway, and already we've seen some action. Take a look at this. You make the jump, you better not get the nose too far down, or your bumper and most of the front end is going to be affected by it. The real question is, this man, Travis Pastrana, can he win? There's a very good possibility he can. And another look down the Home Depot Center rally car. It's already underway. I'm Paul Page with Cameron Steele, winner of the Baja 1000, and a man who knows his driving. And, of course, Jamie Little is with us. Now, we want to let you know what the mobile update for the ESPN Alert is, and plenty of action on that update for you, Cam.
And Tanner Faust throwing it sideways on the infield, putting on quite a show. A tire problem in early stages, putting him out of medal contention.
And then there was this run, which ended up in a fire under the hood. And you know what? The crowd absolutely loved that. And he just pulled by the wayside and became a spectator.
Once you get over that jump, you can crank that right turn, and that's what they're looking for. As quick as possible down in the stadium. Remember, the cars are set up for the asphalt quite a bit, so it's going to be tricky when they get on the dirt.
Those are the cars that have already completed their final run, the single run that they have in the Super Special. And this is the way it stands right now in the overall. They run the cars with the best times last. So we're now moving down toward the big runners. Those are the ones yet to go, and look down at the bottom there. Currently second is Pastrana. McRae is in the lead.
And that is the showdown we were looking forward to. And where will these gladiators be doing battle? Wrestling it out, throwing punches in the cars? Right here in the Home Depot Center. First off, you start, get the green, jump into the stadium. It's only about like 100 feet down. Hit the double jump, swing it to the right, around the super slidey turn out of the stadium. It's very tricky here. There's dirt on the asphalt. You got to be careful. And then this is very fun. Lots of drifting going around in there, around the fountain. Another high-speed left. You come into it at 80 miles an hour. Don't double apex here if you can avoid it. And then you get back into the stadium over the double jump one more time and across the finish line. That is where you are scored your final time.
But you start up on the top of the stadium, and it is a bit of a rollout. You come straight for that ramp and then run downhill. There's about the distance you have. You can see the dirt that starts the ramp in front of you. Pat and Natalie Richard. Actually, both of them are having more than their share of problems. Natalie, the co-driver or navigator from the old days, has a cast on her arm from a soccer injury. And her brother has got a sore right arm as well, which is the one he has to use the handbrake on.
And you saw him come up a little bit short on the jump, and clipping on the inside when they came short. That pushed him farther out into that turn. Remember, they can make the turn as soon as they've landed the double jump. So a little bit sketchy on the infield there for Pat. Remember, he is the current U.S. Rally champion right now. He's not racing in the series this year, but he is making an appearance here at X Games. Now watch. We're getting onto the asphalt. Watch for them to apex the corners. They want to get out to the outside, drive it to the inside. He's drifting it around. The more you're sliding, the more you're losing speed. You want to drive it around as much as possible on the asphalt.
And as you see the clock rolling in the upper left-hand corner, first of all, the current leader, that's the current overall leader, but we're still running through competition, and a number of cars have not yet gone, so that will change almost with every item. Then there are splits themselves on the circuit.
And you can see him really coming around the fountain there, that Seagull taking off. Remember, in the stages, there was a problem with the car. They lost the brakes and also the power steering. So they are under the gun a little bit. They are out of medal contention truly here unless there are some problems with their top four cars, but still putting in a great run. We'll see how this stacks up. And another section you got to drive through. Try not to get too much drift going. And here comes the right turn. You see him over a little baby jump there. You want to try to do this in one giant apex if you can instead of having to turn into it twice.
The tires they're using are the gravel grade tires with at least 1/4 of an inch of tread. And as you can see, most of them are really prone to grabbing the handbrake like we never did that in the parking lot in our lives and kick the back end around. Here is the final jump. 2 more turns and then the finish line. They've had trouble with that trunk, by the way, throughout the entire event.
And cleanly not catching the inside that time, but catching the outside, trying to put the best time possible down.
Oh! Now it lines over this way. They got way far off the right side of the course and still haven't gone far enough to stop the clock.
Oh, well, that's interesting because they went right across in front of where the checkered flags go. And so we'll see how that is scored. A little bit of chaos, right? It's the X Games. You can run into some barriers, knock some stuff over, have your trunk come open, or whatever. It's all cool.
Yeah, now, here is where they were coming right to the end. They make a left-hander, then come back a right-hander, and then they should have come in tight. You can see the checkered flag. But instead, they went into the blocks and went into the park.
And they went into that supermoto rhythm section. Good thing they didn't jump. But look how wide they drift Bam! That is a rhythm section for Supermoto, which we will see tomorrow at X.